I don't know, man. It could be anything. Yo, fuck this party, man. Fuck this party, man. We're just chilling.
Don't want to drink. You know,
So yeah guys, I'm ready to go. Yeah. So, I'm gonna meet them in 3, 2.
Hindi ka pa ano,
Hi,
may
guys.
tapakan.
Sakay na po kami bus.
Wala pa.
Ito na yung other group. Yeah, here's the
Na-awkward na ako.
Yeah. And this is the other group.
Sama mo na lang kami sa vlog.
So yeah, papasok na kami. Bye. So, nasa bus na kami ngayon. Going to Buendia first. Ito po yung nalate, no? Nag-dress pa ako.
sabi 5:30 daw, no?
5:30, naging ano oras? Ano oras tayo, no?
Parang 7:15.
7:59. It's almost 8 o'clock.
Ako una nagising sa inyo.
Pero siya huli
Siya uli! Siya uli!
Siya huli dumating.
Ako rin ang una na tao.
Grabe talaga.
Ma'am, sweet na lang tayo.
Yeah, hi guys. We're here. Hi, say hi. Let's go.
Vlog ka ba?
Yeah, Joel.
So, ayun. So, let's start with the first question. So,
What is your position in the department?
Okay.
And how long have you been working here?
Okay. So I am the officer in charge of the officer. I am an OIC director, officer in charge of the Office of Product and Market Development. I've held that position as OIC for about a year and a half, but I've been with the Department of Tourism since 2002, so that would make me about 16 years. But I've been with the industry since 1989, so that would make me about 29 years in the So I started out with the Tourism Promotions Board, which is now called Tourism Promotions Board. It was then called the Philippine Convention and Visitors Corporation. I've tried my luck in the private sector, in the travel industry. It's too much for me in corporate intrigues and maraming nangyari. So I went back to government. I also do convention management because I used to be part of the Philippine International Convention Center. That's another government agency. So, and then I transferred to the Department of Tourism, the main office, way back in 2002. So I'm still connected with the DOT. Probably retire here.
Tell us something about DOT, its beginning and the organization itself.
Well, as you know, the Department of Tourism started in about 1970s, 1976. It used to be part of, or a division or a bureau of the Department of Trade and Industry, but it has evolved into a full-fledged government agency, a department or a ministry, as some of our neighbors would call it. It's a ministry level office. The department had several secretaries already, and it has also evolved. with the changes of the heads of office. And now our present secretary is Bernadette Romulo Puyat, whose background is from the agricultural sector, because she also used to be undersecretary for the Department of Department of Agriculture. So she's a maverick when it comes to connecting with farmers and bringing their produce to the market. She's established there in DA several practices that benefit the producers, the farmers. Now she's carrying that as well into the Department of Tourism, her maverick attitude and her she'd like to explore new segments in the market. The organization now is different from the previous one that she replaced because of the controversy there. So all these learnings are put into policies, and changes are done within the department. So we have stricter observation of rules there. It is demanded on all the officers to kind of counter the controversies that was before her. So in like manner, as I said, so other than being maverick and trying out new markets, and imposing the strict adherence to the rules and policies. So she's also very well connected when it comes to politics, and that is why she is the darling of Congress, of Senate, and even of the other ministries or departments. So she's able to how do I say it? Make things happen. For example, in dealing with other departments, for visa, it would be the Bureau of Immigrations under the DOJ, Department of Justice, and then the Department of Foreign Affairs. For customs, these other departments affect the tourists that come in, people bringing in stuff from tourists. People being prevented or allowed to get in, which is basically the work of DOJ under with the Bureau of Immigration. So she's able to, even DPWH, the roads to the destinations, she's able to work that out because of her very good rapport with the rest of the cabinet members. So that's a little background on the beginnings and on the organization itself that we have now.
In your own opinion, how important is tourism in our country?
I'd like to answer that it's very important, but when it comes to the data, just take a look at the website of the Department of Tourism. It's right in front. Tourist arrivals, how are our impact when it comes to the economy, jobs generated. So these are some of the areas that are affected by tourism. Also, when it comes to our performance as contributor to the what do you call that, export. Kasi tourism is considered an export product or something like that. So our contribution to economy when it comes to that. Of course, always it has something to do with helping the stakeholders, and even performance measures are also indicated there in the website. So it's better because at least it's more accurate. At the same time, you can pick up other data from there. There's, of course, historical arrivals there. Our goal for the end of the year is 7.4 million tourist arrivals. We will probably not make it to 7.4 and then slip a few hundred thousands because of the closure of Boracay. And remember, we were recovering from the Marawi incident. So those factors affect tourism arrivals, especially if the source markets or those places where the tourists come from have advisories against the Philippines. And Veron would know that because she works for an embassy as well. So embassies are bound by their duties and responsibilities to come up with safety precautions for their countrymen who will come over to the Philippines. So there are some countries from where our tourists come from that issue travel advisories against the Philippines. Number one would be America, and then of course certain European countries. And of course there are still tourists coming who continuously arrive in the Philippines, and they still feel safe despite the fact that there are news that are like that. They don't see it anyway. So it's a matter of for the Department of Tourism. It's a matter of putting the positive picture of the Philippines forward, and then hopefully surpass the effect of those travel advisories.
Ano po yung epekto ng pagsara ng Boracay sa tourism ng Philippines?
When it comes to quantity, this is an estimate. It's almost 1 million. 1 million arrivals that you are for 1 year. It's about 1 million tourists go there. Close it for 6 months. How much do you palagay mo nabawas sa'yo? About 500 million, 500,000. Imaginein mo yun. It's a huge effect. It's one of the jewels of our tourism. Of course, Palawan is always on top. Cebu as well. But it's a big blow. But it's a wake-up call for those the local government there, the established, the stakeholders there, that hey, the president can close you and look at the income that you're going to miss. Aside from, of course, the tourism industry, struggling to bring in more tourists despite the fact of the closure of one of the best beaches in the world. By the way, there's no other beach that's like the Philippines, that like Boracay. Wala talaga yun. Kahit ano pang sabihin nila.
Like I heard sa news na may possibility pong masara yung Palawan and Lido.
Actually kasi, the reason why this is happening is because there are several irresponsible na local government unit. And this is a show of force when it comes to, and that it shows the determination of the president to write things. And this is a positive, I think something positive. It threatens the businesses of people, and therefore they would really look or take it seriously. Sa akin, Palawan is already doing the needful to correct, to rectify. It's not only Boracay, PG, Puerto Galera, they're doing it as well. Bohol is also doing it. So you can see that because of that threat of being closed, they are doing the right thing, double checking compliance with environment, with other laws. So it is a good thing for me. Yun nga lang, it may hamper the business, but until it is corrected, para sa akin, there's nothing more important than saving it for you guys to see it. People would brag about Boracay in the 80s. When you go to Boracay now, it seems like it's the 80s because there's not much establishment, the beach is open, not much trash, which is basically what you would find before the closure. So go there para medyo makita pa rin ninyo yung what your parents would brag about as Boracay in the 80s. Of course, there wasn't much, walang kuryente doon that time. So that's another thing. Siyempre, ibig sabihin walang connectivity, walang data, walang too bad for you. Pero some people find that a come on or attractive, so that they are inspired to go there. So that's the effect in terms of numbers, in terms of course business that is forgone. That is another thing in terms of Ngayon, with the policies in place, I think they're only accepting about 9,000 a day. 9,000 tourists a day.
Sa Boracay po.
So, tourists just don't go there and then, just stay there for a day. Excursion lang yon. So, they would stay 3 nights. So, pag may laman na kagad yun, therefore, they're trying to limit the flights as well. So, it is it is incumbent upon the Office of Product and Market Development to find solution for those charter operators and airlines that are flying into either Caticlan or Calibo, opening up Iloilo and Capiz, the Capiz side or even Aklan side would be beneficial for those tourists. Of course, the shaping up that local government units and even stakeholders are doing from those being threatened to be closed. That is a good thing as well. And those are where we will bring those Palawan, Bohol, Cebu. With Cebu now opening its new terminal, it's a huge boost. By the way, the terminal was made by an Indian company. So, thanks to the embassy as well. Ayan, those are some of the things that mixed yun eh. So, there are effects. At the same time, there are solutions to some challenges, and we're affecting everything. Trying to fight the downtrend, but also putting a positive spin. We're also trying to help the other destinations pick up from where Boracay is not well. Kasi siyempre limitado ni pwede magpunta sa Boracay, so they're picking up as well. So there's a positive spin to that as well.
So yung last question po. So, what are the efforts of DOT in making sure that the benefits of tourism are realized or acquired by our country?
Okay. Tingnan ninyo yung website. Primary there is of course the benefits to the stakeholders. Stakeholders is a very general term, but jobs is also 1:1 yan eh. If there's 7.2 million tourists, foreign lang yung binibilang namin. By the way, DOT is also looking after domestic tourism. But that's by the nasa mga 35 million ang domestic tourists natin. So, mas malaki talaga yun. So, in terms of jobs generation, when it comes to the international tourist arrivals here, there's 7.1 jobs that are generated. So, that would be in hotels, in tour operations, in guides, the restaurants that they stay in, aside from the hotels, aside from the transport companies. Transport medyo hindi pa yan directly affected, but jobs are generated, suffice to say. Also, there are businesses that open up because of tourism, and of course, dollar earnings. Those are some of the performance indicators that we're looking after when it comes to the effects of or the benefits of tourism going to the local. And besides, that's really the effect of tourism. You really have to get the community involved, because what's the use? Are you going to parang bring people from Manila just to manage the hotels in Boracay? There are already people who are there, and alam naman natin ang dami nating college graduates, so it also helps them find jobs sa tourism where you are now, or where you want to belong in the future. So those are just some of the benefits. I'd like to suggest that you see the website para makuha ninyo. You can get the numbers, the exact numbers, and it's there, both historical data and present data. Yun.
Thank you po for the interview.
Pagka tandaan nyo kayo yung future namin dito. Kayo, pagka nag-retire kami, kung magiging FA kayong dalawa, di wala.
So yeah guys, nakatapos na namin yung interview. Ayos ba? Nice mga Ito po si Boss Ana.
Hi guys.
Kakatapos lang natin mag-interview.
Pagka-graduate
Man, bro, we're done.
saan pupunta?
Yeah,
If
true.
A na po kami magtatrabaho.
So yeah guys, that's the end today.